No sword in my hands, just a will that won't break. I've seen modest terror tremble, felt every quake. Sam carried Frodo when he couldn't go on. Now I carry that heart even when hope is gone. Then came Gandalf's staff, lit the sky. Even the darkest times still let light fly. From Isengard fall to Helm's Deep's last stand. I rise with the brave, not just sword in hand. Don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk of the break of day. I don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk, the break of day. Fellow of the rings, I give it all. From Moria's dark to Mount Doomfall. Fellow, beyond the pain, we fight till it's over, we rise again. From ashes we rise, we answer the call. We stand for the light, we are one for all. Born with the fire like smog in the air, but I learned from Boromir, beware despair. Power corrupts, the ring's heavy price. Gollum fell chasing it twice. I saw Denethor fall, blinded by fear, while Faramir stood, silent but clear. Galadriel's grace, but a fire inside. She passed on the test, while others just lied. I'm not just a fighter, I'm light through the shade. Like Legolas swift, and Gimli unafraid. From Rivendell's peace to the Black Gate's cry, I rise like the eagles, I will not die. Fellow, we give it all. From the Shire to Shadow, we heed the call. Fellow, beyond the flame, with hearts unbroken, we rise again. Through trolls and wraiths, we rise through the fall. We stand for the weak, we are one for all. Fellow, through fire and stone, from ends that march to thrones overthrown. Fellow, no fear remains, even Sauron's shadow breaks at our name. We carry the ring, we answer the call. We stand as the light, we are one for all. I am here with the fellow of the rings.
What's going on, boys and girls? Happy Saturday, and welcome to our earlier version. What's up, Nazgul? Got you, brother. Earlier stream for a mega server. How's everybody doing today? Some interesting things happening in our server. Let us get ready. Let me get ready. I'll let you get ready. Let's go, baby. All right. See what we got in the chat. What's up, Aiden? My boy Aiden. I shall reach out to me right after the stream, and we'll sort you out. All right. What's up, Isaac? My boy Isaac in the house. How you doing, man? Yo, stay away from my merit, bro. Stay away from my merit. What's going on, Big Mike? What's up, Turgon, Murph, Nazgul? What's going on, Beer Buffalo? How you doing, man? See who else we got. Tom Somner in the house. Eduardo and Aiden. You guys having a great Saturday. I shall have a great Saturday starting now. Had a good day today. What's up, CJ? I mean, yeah, to some extent, yes, CJ. I used an app. What's up, GC? Season over in 3 days. Finally for you. We got a long season I'm hoping for. All right, Golo, Xanox. All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to show you guys what's been going on today. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, Well, Galder just took this keep over here. We're setting up some defenses. But as you can see, there's a lot of things going on. So Rune has actually taken, has taken a keep to the east. And kind of how I predicted, they took the pass into Lothlorien. And probably they're fighting Loth now. I guess it's nice for them to have this little scrimmage. I wonder, and I'm not even going to ask people because people always have their own version of things, but it could be that Rune reached out to Erebor, say, hey, we don't want any problems. We're just going to go north and kind of, and fight Loth. Or it could have been the other way. And sadly, I've seen this other way play out very often whenever there is a big team next to a small team. It's like, hey, we got a couple options for you. You either go somewhere else to fight, or we can do the things the hard way. Not necessarily saying that this happened, but I've seen to some extent, not necessarily those words, but sometimes that tends to happen where the small team just kind of gets crushed by the big team, and so they gotta go do their own thing. But it would have been nice to have seen Rune play a more part in the active part of the server. But to each their own. Just like Loth isn't really fighting anybody either. Let's see, Mordor, they're pretty chill over here. No idea if anybody reached out to them. Hopefully not. I do know that Rohan keeps taking tiles and blocking us in certain areas. I had to send Bard earlier to take the crossing because Rohan had taken the crossing here. So like they're kind of blocking us over here. So they're definitely not letting it go easy. Who is this guy? Okay. Let's see what he's going to do. Maybe we can. Oh, I can't. Can I just stand over here? Let him do what he's going to do. Yeah, but everywhere else on the map. What's up, Noah? How you doing, man? I'm pretty sure Linden has gone AFK. There isn't a single pin, a single player from Linden saying anything anywhere. So I'm assuming that they are also. I'm pretty sure they kind of gone AFK. Unless somebody can tell me otherwise, I think they gone AFK. All right, let me open up my energy. Thorn got uprooted, Aiden. He got uprooted earlier. I think it was today or yesterday. Can't remember now. Yo, shout out to my boy Isaac. Like I said, Isaac tends to send whenever he wants, whenever he's sending some loving, he does that via PayPal. And I just got a notification, so it won't pop up here in the stream. So shout out to my boy Isaac for the super chat. I appreciate it, brother. I have no clue where he is right now, man. All right, but let's look at the other stuff going on the map. All right, 2 questions. All right, write them down. Write them down, Nazgul. I have a lot of things to discuss with you guys today, so let me just pop in the game music here, the sound. You guys can hear the beautiful music. I'm working on the key room build. Why are you still pushing into Arnor lands? I'll give a pretty clear answer to the number 2. It's just what the team has been. That's just been the plan of the team, and I'm following along. To put it simply, okay. So let me cover all the pins around. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a leader, so I don't know the details. But what I do know is what I can see on the map. Okay, so I see a pin here: Order, Toby, Layman, Step Fighting. And from my understanding, as you guys can see, there is no pins up here. So my conclusion is they made a deal to not hit each other's farmlands, and I guess just go for the middle. They're fighting each other in the middle. As you guys can see, all these are owned. So Erebor owns this one. Nobody owns that. Erebor. I mean, since Erebor is kind of taken over everywhere. Okay, everything. Oh, this one is Angmar. Okay, Erebor. They like block Arnor. Okay. Besides that, you got Erebor owning all these other crossings here as well. And now they started to push into the southern part of Dol Guldur. As you guys can see, they took the tunnel. We got a 4 million pin over here. And that's where they are currently at. They just pushed through the tunnel. And they're making some strides over here. Look at that. Taking out Keisha, hope I'm saying that right. Tactical Fort. They're all the way in the middle here already. Look at that. Okay. So not a whole lot of defense currently from Gondor in this region, it seems. Okie dokie. Now back into the west. A lot of pins. You got a big pin over here. All right. 13 days doing Sveil. Now you got some other pins. You got Bear on this one. 6 million into Mindrief. And another one over here with Bear on top as well. And then this one over here, 9.9 at the crossing. And this other one too. Okay, so this is kind of like the two main areas of focus right now. Let's see. Yep. Okay, where Merc and Gods are trying to push us away from the crossing that we took earlier. And the battles go on over here. That's where we're currently at, boys and girls. Kyle, my boy. All right, just for the stream, yeah? Ooh, Daddy's level 50. Jeez. All right, I'm getting there. I'm not quite 50 yet. Leveling many teams at the same time makes things a little bit harder. But we're getting there. All right. We're almost full on our tiles. Can we? Been using a lot of my. Ooh, baby, let's go. I need some more though. All right. Let's do this. All right, guys. Check the comments in just a second. Let me conscript myself some T1s here. That's what we've been rocking so far for the day. Gotta try to be conservative on troops. And in order for this system to work, that I'm running T1s in this case. Okay. So I've been running a lot. I have fought Thorn Aiden in probably a few days ago, not today. See, in order to run this build that has very low HP, I'm running a lot of defense. So my Bjorn is 199 attack and a lot of defense. So 106 defense on him, 104 plus the 10 from Bloodline. So puts me at 114. Would have been a little bit higher if I had another one. I gotta just put one of these more of the high elf Hallberg together for then, because that I'm losing 12, so it could have been like 120 something with T1s, which is great. And then 112 here as well. I didn't go with the T1 Evil Man Cav because their defense their HP is lower. They have 3 HP less, so I prefer having 10 less defense, already having 112, than having 3 less HP. The HP is more important than. So I was able to hit twice, and this is the nice thing. Depending who I hit. Okay, took 72,000 of XP. Everybody, I mean, Undying still at 46, closing in on 47, and then took a second hit here, and then basically lost. But ideally, I'm just trying to level up at this point. Help the team out, but also level up. I mean, Nazgo, when you're looking at a count of this size, running T1s to level up, I wouldn't consider the game to be broken, considering that I've drawn against players with a much smaller account against my account. So I wouldn't say it's broken. It's just, what's up, Elvin Blade? Just watching from work. Look at that. I feel honored. Jeez. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Getting some fights, training some troops, training a lot of T1s. Or else it's just not very sustainable if trying to level up multiple teams while also helping the team push. It's not very easy to do. In terms of where we're pushing in the east, we are currently over here. Uprooted a few players. About to uproot a few more on this southeast side of the little area here. So we uprooted one. Oh, is he close to? Oh, I don't see the foreigner's not here. You said foreigner was here, man. What's up, Angus? How you doing, man? I don't see foreign anywhere. I mean, he got uprooted, so he's probably somewhere far away now. So yeah, we're uprooting a few players here. So we got motion here on gods, and yeah, Zolu over here. So man, 1972 likely to get uprooted very soon. Laggy boo. Yo, interesting. All right, let's look at some of your guys' comments here. A lot has been said about this server. Honestly, look, I don't know. It's just teams that now kind of have bad blood with each other, and people are just gonna say stuff. Very hard to take people's, it's very, very hard to take people's opinions seriously, to be honest, because a lot of it, has emotion in it. A lot of it has their own beliefs about other people. So that's why I think the less diploed people are willing to do, the funner the server it is. Just play your season, play your game. Like I have no idea why Erebor is doing what they're doing, but they're attacking everybody. So Erebor is fighting Toby and Step. At least that's what it looks like, right? There's 23 million participants, 8.7 million deaths. So they're definitely fighting, and they started fighting us over here. So why are they doing that? Probably just to spice the server up. Good for them. I have no idea. Maddox didn't say anything, so I have no clue. I think it's cool that they're doing that. One thing I do know is, I can't remember where, but I remember, if I'm not wrong, there is a Angmar fortress going up in Arnorland. Trying to find out where that was. Where are the springs here? I'm trying to remember. Look, there is a step fort here. I know that there's an Angmar fortress being built somewhere. Can't remember where. What's up, Evolution? Caught what? Sorry, what? When? What got caught? Oh, is it here? Look at this. Right here. A step fortress right over here. Yeah, that's a tactical one. So a step fortress inside Arnor land right over here, y'all. That's what we're seeing. So a lot of drama for sure. What's up, Noah Beef? I didn't say hi to you before. Best thing that can happen to the servers right now is a central zone fight between Erebor and Gondor already. Arno can take back lands, and then fighting continues. I think what's going to happen is Arnor is going to just come against Gondor the rest of the season. They're going to guarantee that we don't get, either. Like let's say for example Gondor got the ring. They're going to ensure that we don't have enough capitals to get the main title, which is fine. It's good. It's good. Like I said, I think people should play the season the way they think it should be played. If they want to ensure Gondor doesn't get the ring, that's fine. It's part of the game. The only thing that sucks is just how people portray stuff. It's, I mean, people get angry about that. Like, why would you get angry? Just enjoy the season. If they want to not give you the ring, like, why is that a problem? It shouldn't be a problem. No, it's just a season. You can go do something else the season after. You can get the ring after. If it's a war game, you should play for the war, and then you try to. Oh, am I not full? Yep, I'm full. All right. There we go. We can go once more. People should just play for the fun of it, honestly. I think people just get too caught up on. So my boy Yorgita over here. All right. I think people just get too caught up on, getting offended by somebody not liking the way you did things or the way you said something. I think people should be respectful. I mean, you can easily fight somebody and say, look, we don't want to do any agreements. We don't want to do any diplo with you. We have no interest in partnering with you, but we respect you. He can easily do that. I don't know why people just choose. They choose not to, but then they play victims after. That's the problem that I have. If you wanna be rude to somebody, that's fine. That's your choice. But then don't play the card where like, no, we didn't do anything. We didn't say anything the wrong way. Everybody tends to just then play, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. It's them the problem. It's always like that. I mean, I probably played in 10 different teams my whole time here in the game. 10, 12. In the earlier seasons, I went from team to team just to kind of experience the game. And also because some teams I just didn't like the way leaders led and things like that. So that's just become the same. Like people say it's always the same. Always the same. The same excuses, the same behaviors. People choose not to really own up to what they choose to behave like. T1 units missed a few streams, but does it look like T1s are more sustainable? T1s are resource cheap. Nazgul. Because, right, let's have a look here. Okay, so if I want to make, let's use Guardians and T1s as an example, right? If I want to make Guardians, who are one of the cheapest units, right? If I want to make 100 of them, let's see, let's make 100 of them, okay? It's 3 minutes 22. Actually, let me screenshot this so I can get a better analysis myself. Okay, put this on the side here. Okay, so 3 minutes 22. Let's look at the T1s, the horsemen, for example. All right, if I want to make 100 of them, okay. These, yes, horsemen. So to make, well, I gotta make. Now the question is here. So to make the same, right? So takes me 2 minutes and 41. And that amount of resources. So they are cheaper. Sometimes it just depends. It just depends how many fights I can do before having to replenish, So because they're cheaper, one way they're cheaper, they're faster. they tend to be cheaper. It's not like I can do 3 fights with Guardians. Okay. Usually, I'll show you some reports that I've done recently. Okay, let's look at some PvP reports. Okay, look at this. Okay, so did pretty decent against these guys. Okay. Did okay against this one. I mean, I consider that a big win considering look at who he's running. Look how expensive this fight was for him. Whew. Look at that. That's an expensive fight for him. Very cheap for me in comparison. Okay. This was okay. The evasion got me a little bit here, right? The evasion really hurt me on this one. I think I was, did I have? Yeah, I didn't have the defense gear on this one. This is, I'll show you how I'm building him. Okay, no real defense on these guys. And more expensive to their T2s. But even you consider me fighting normally, this probably won't be a good one to give you. Depending who I hit, that's a fairly decent report. This one. I don't remember when I used T3s on this formation though, so I don't even know if I have anything to show at this point. Let's see. So for example here, you know, see, I won't be able to do 2 full fights with Guardians. So if I'm able to do 1.5, one something with the other ones, it becomes a win. What's up, King under the Montaña? How you doing, man? How you doing? Oh, the rankings. You want to see the rankings now, do you? I'm good, man. Just grinding away, expecting some hits from your team very soon. Or I guess not you guys. I guess it's just Step for now, at least. See a couple more reports from Undyne here. So the Abang. Any Marauders? Not too bad on this one either. So we'll see. We'll keep running. I'm running T1s because I'm trying to replenish my stuff. So see how it goes. At least the server is finally changing slightly for sure. I said in the beginning, I'm excited to see the dynamic in the next couple of days here. Very, 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 very excited. Let's see. What's up, Yerte? Not enough teams. I mean, more teams would be nice in the server, but hopefully we can set up the next one to be in a good place. Depends if people are not going to join, so, but hoping that they will. I think the biggest issue at this moment in the game is the low seasons versus 20 plus seasons, the respect gear difference, and the payment of cracking is maybe less rewarding. Well, potentially, but I don't know how to divide it. The community is already very, very small. You know, the community is already very, very small. So I don't know. I really don't know what's if you divide those players, that makes it hard for, you know, let's say somebody wants to recruit one of those early season players. They can't either. Just divides everything. So you won't be playing. So is it you or is it Toby that won't be playing another season like this? I mean, hopefully it's not going to be the case, but I just feel like the more seasons we move forward is going to be harder and harder to find a decent server to play in. Because at the end, everybody's already knows everybody. Like, how many new competitive teams are really coming up? I don't know. I hope more, but I honestly don't know if there's any. So, no idea. A solution would be to give Zenith commanders more damage command gains the moment they get higher Zenith rewards is money incentive for NetEase. So I reached out to support about this last week because the return on investment, the higher in Zenith you go, becomes almost zero. Literally almost zero. I mean, look at this, right? Is it? I think it's Gandalf, right? So he's Z16. If I was to put him to Z17, look what happens. He gets one extra stat. Look at that. One. One of each. Imagine, I don't know, $15,000 for one stat increase of each. And I was told that it is part of the game. So definitely they made it so nobody has any reason to go higher than Z1 at this point. Unless you really want the extra little, quirks of the skills. But if you're just, kind of your average, you're gonna be, in the medium there. I mean, higher end medium, Z1 is the max where you really need to go. What's the percentage increase of that? Oh, it's like 15% or something. Yeah, the interesting comment there. Toby won't. Way too many judgments of any move. Way too many assumptions. It's tiring and take out the fun. I mean, could you DM me explaining what you mean there? I mean, what do you mean judgments? Who are you fighting that you needed to? It just feels like I said, yes, or what, 2 days ago? Or was it? I can't remember now. Was it yesterday? I can't remember now. It just feels like everybody you leaders just create too many chat rooms and you discuss way too many things with your rivals than you really should. So I mean, honestly, in a way, it's not even this like where you're playing. You guys keep creating this. I'm sorry to say this, but you guys keep creating these problems for yourself. It's like it's on you. You guys could easily say, look, we're not gonna open diplo chats with anyone. We're gonna do our thing. If we feel like we need to discuss anything with anybody, we reach out. But you guys before season starts, you guys create groups for everybody. And then you guys complain that you can't do anything because everybody's judging you. But you communicate everything. So how can you not expect people to say things when you're letting them know everything you're gonna do? Just play your game. Stop having chats with everybody. You're ruining the game for yourselves. And I know because I am in council groups. It is tiring having to spend 2-3 hours per day checking history of conversations, following up, discussing with your own councils what you're going to do, bring it back to the other group. What do you guys think of this? You guys like our idea? No? Okay. Oh, okay. What's your counter this? You guys are destroying the game for yourselves. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I'm not saying you can't have discussions with people. I'm not saying, you can't do strategic diplomacy, but you guys overdo it every single season. I don't understand. It's like, you get slapped in the face and then you're like, oh, that one hurt. But then you put yourself in the same position again to get slapped in the face again. I mean, of course, internal for sure. Have as many discussion groups you need for your own team, but you guys have I look, like I said, I've been in multiple teams. There's just like council groups and council and diplomacy chats in every single server. Everybody does this, and you guys complain about the game being bad. Like all the devs, everything's about the devs. You know, it is to a certain extent, but the devs are not forcing you to open a Discord chat, which is not part of the game, you know, with a bunch of different people. Just play your own game. If it doesn't work out, you learn from your mistakes and move on. But it seems like the learning from the mistake is, oh, next season we do diplomacy. You know, we overdo diplomacy because we didn't do enough. And then when you do too much, you're like, oh yeah, but honest, I don't know. I just hope people just play their game. You know, and then you can really blame the devs. But when you guys are winning seasons with the, not saying you, and by the way, I just got, you know, the conversation just started from Yertis comment, nothing to do with them. I never played in their team, never seen any chats with them. So I'm just kind of going off that comment. You know, just stop having so many chats, honestly. Play your own game. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then you try a different strategy the next season. One thing I do know for sure, this is I know for a certain. Okay? I would agree too, kind of agree with you, King. Teams could use a reset. Just mix it up, you know, change it up. But the other issue is, this is from me analyzing a bunch of different seasons. There isn't enough proactive preparation and, you know, strategy. Let me put it this way, strategy from most teams. And I've been saying this, you know, let's use an example in the map here, right? Let's say, I'm going to use another example from somebody else. Okay. Let's say these passes were not taken many days ago, right? Just using Erebor, nothing to do with lane or order. Great guys, great teams. I played with many lane players in the past, great people. So let's say, just using this as the example, let's say I'm Erebor, but right, my starting position is here. We've taken all these places, but you know, we haven't really prepared defenses. There's no forts here. Instead of waiting, and I said this before, guys, instead of waiting for you to see the enemy's fortress going up, for you to then tell your players that are here, right, that are all the way over here, they don't have any forts in the region, before you see enemy forts and fortresses going up here, for you to just say, hey guys, yeah, I think it's time for us to start building some forts here for defense. You should be doing that already. You should have strategies for fort placement, right? Let's say I place my fort over here. What happens if the enemy takes that one? Right? Usually players don't have a secondary fort. Most of the times they don't have a secondary fort that also reaches here in case this one gets taken out. Then what happens? That player, they can march, right, to defend, but then they can't occupy because they have no more range. So there's so many little things that people just they don't think about. How, you know, if we don't want to get pushed all the way to the keep. So we have multiple fort clusters that we can use as a roadblock and also range to contain the enemy. People don't do these kind of things. You know why? Can I tell you why? My personal view, because people rely so much on diplomacy that they are become like they don't even know what they should do. I'm sorry, but that is the truth with a lot of teams. They're so used to relying on diplomacy to get things to improve the server for themselves that they don't really think of strategy. And then, right, when things don't go well because of poor planning, the only other option, they could say, well, our bad for not planning. Of course, nobody does that. Nobody has, not everybody, but not many people have the courage to say, we made a mistake. We should have been better at planning. No, they're like, oh, it's the enemy. They're bad. They're just bad people. Can't trust them. Well, they are your rivals. You know, you shouldn't be trusting them. You should be playing against them. So you should have just planned better yourself. You know, so that's the issue. A lot of these issues is just poor planning, relying on diplomacy, and over controlling every single possible outcome in a game. It's just crazy that you guys think like it's crazy. It makes zero sense to me. It's crazy to me that you guys think that this is normal. I don't understand why this is like, oh yeah, that's how the game is played. That's how it should be played. It shouldn't be like that. Because that is one part of the reason why it's I don't know if I want to hit this, but we're going for it. I don't care. So hopefully that wasn't too much for you guys, but you guys just gotta play your game, honestly. Because it seems like diplomas. Every season, I hear people complaining about their rivals. Oh, they're toxic. Oh, you can't trust them. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. But then again, they go back into the same room to try to make deals the next season when they face them again. It's like the example I said. Somebody slapped you in the face, and you go back to the same place to get slapped again. It's like, why? Why aren't you just doing your thing by now? Just play your game. Stop telling everybody what you're gonna do. If it doesn't work out, whatever. At least you guys are having fun. The worst thing for me to read is when leaders are. You can tell by their actions that they're playing reactive. Oh, guys, let's go here because of this. It's the worst thing to play in a game or in a team where you can see your team is reactive instead of proactive in playing. Oh, these guys were gonna do this. I know, but we don't do anything right now. And then when they see that they can't get their way with Diplo, that's when they move for strategies. Oh, it's the worst. Oh, who's moving away, man? What's going on here? It's a gym. Oh, Morgoth is there. I didn't even know he's running. That's the worst thing. It's seeing that your team like only does things after the diplomacy route doesn't work. Oh. In a war game, I mean, it's fine, in my opinion, when it's like, we're trying to work with this team, but when that's kind of the action with every single enemy in the map, it's like, what are you playing? We're not UN. It's not a UN simulator, guys. It's a war game. Okay, Sue's over here. Ooh. Can't even see what gym merchant. I've fought him before. Let's see what happens here. Am I gonna wipe this one? I should, because I'm sure he wasn't full. There we go. We can take that one. Yeah, boy. At least that allows us to have another hit. Because we're still full. Yo, somebody has to come for... Oh, he's gone. He's gone for gym merchant. We can go, Lajibu, get over here. What's up, guys? Let me look at some of the comments here. Sorry, I don't mean to miss your guys' comments. Let me go back here really, really quick. I personally won't bounce. No, I think it depends on what we consider competitive, active, competitive. Probably two different things. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with whatever, to be honest. Just. I think at this point, I just want to have as many teams in the server as possible that have competitive teams. And I know what you mean by active. I know a lot of times we don't have a lot of active people. They have big accounts. They're fairly competitive, but they're also oftentimes not very active when because they're busy or for other reasons too. So I think just competitive. If you had 1,600 people in 8 different teams that are very competitive, I think that would make for a fun season. It would work if you just go for Rings of Power servers and people make Kingdom with only one team. That could work too. But I just feel like more people would mean just more action. Would be fun. Issue is not all the teams play each other over and over again, so people have previous experience, etc. Exactly, but that's my whole point, King. if people already have previous experiences and like, oh, we don't trust this person or that person, then why are you then sitting in Diplo rooms with them? It's like I said, it's like you get slapped by somebody, you didn't like it, but you're back at the same place in the same position again. You know, like why do that to yourselves? Just enjoy your game. I think most teams here will avoid another server like this. I don't think. I mean, I could see half of them right now saying that. For like right now, mostly, but I mean, if people don't want to do it again, that's fine. It's. You are one annoying one, Selenith. You know what? I'm not gonna fall for your today. I'm gonna go back. You can take that. I'm not gonna. Oh, I mean, she was gonna hit him, not me. Ooh, baby, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Here. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. I'm dying. Let's go. Let's go over here. Yes, there. Sorry, who's here? Motion. Then Jim. All right. Let's see what we get from this. Gotta manage expectations. Not much communication. If you told players that you had a chance to win the season, you lied on beforehand. Really. The problem is though, everyone plays each other and over again. Almost impossible to get through without overdoing the Diplo. Ooh, look at that. A couple hits. Ooh, we drew. See, not too bad. See, look. No, not that one. We did this one first against Merchant. Punk running T1s also didn't give me a whole lot of merit. And then Motion 6-9. Look at that. Not too bad, huh? Ooh, got wiped out here though. See, I'm happy. We still got a bit of troops left, so I'm happy there. Let's pull them back. Yeah, boy. Okay, you guys want to see the leaderboards? Let's have a look at leaderboards. Okay, affluence. We got the Beast in number 1, 58,000. Dumbo, Raven. That name I can never pronounce. Kitten, Hero. This other name I can't pronounce. Myself, Aaron the Great, and Captain James Hook. These are the top 10s. In terms of fellowship, you got, Lame has passed us. I think the first time this season we had a team that was not Gondor up in second place. Interesting for sure. All right, and then a Panda in third, Order in fourth, Toby and Stab following the two next positions, and Merc and Gods 7 and 8th. Merit-wise, I think that's what you guys are really wanting to see. We got Raven at 4.3, number 1. Dumbo Maddox 2.9. That name I can't pronounce. Myself in 2.4, and then a bunch of others. Isaac, Bricky Spanish, and Myth Love in 2.4. Yarbanen, Liverboo, and the Beast at 10. Kitten and Selenith following through. Selenith is running that crazy formation that barely runs any troops, and she's a lady, by the way. She is in position 12. So wait, team wise, all I can show you guys is what Panda has. Barely in number 1 was Isaac, who doesn't stop coming after me. In second, Alexander, Preshi, and then Cater in the top 5 positions. I guess we can go the next 5. Got Deadly Monks, Shamilk, Golo, Bridas, and then Fruitsy the Great for this week, for the week so far. All right. That's how the cookie crumbled, guys. Yeah, I think people just having a Diplo chat in a server like this, to me, I think with everybody was a mistake. I don't think that should have happened. My 2 cents only. The issue is that without this overcommunication, likely the next season someone wants revenge. The issue is, King, people are gonna want revenge no matter what. I've had seasons where it was no Diplo, people came out angry. Over Diplo, people came out angry. The main issue is the ones that you control usually are boring. That's the problem. Okay? People are gonna come out angry either way. They're going to be angry about the outcome of the season if they're losing. If they're getting pushed back a lot, that is going to happen 100% of the time. The main problem is that you're hurting your team's fun when you control everything. That's the problem. And everybody keeps saying, I'm doing this for my team. I want my team to enjoy it. Then stop controlling everything. People want the dynamic. People want the mystery of the season. When you're telling them every single place people are going to do things, then, I'll check in a second, Tartar Binks. That ruins the fun for your team. So you're never going to win. Like, there's no winning the Diplo conversation. So don't do it. Do the bare minimum that you need to. Bare minimum. What's up, H7? Diplo should be a reaction. Diplo shouldn't be proactive. That's my take. Terrible map design for no Diplo. You gotta try it though, Dahi. I know who this is. You gotta try it though. No, is it Dahi? No, Dasma is not Dahi. You gotta try it. If you don't try it, it's gonna be a problem. Because everybody already hates the map. Everybody already, but the Diplo, making Diplo is just worse. I know teams that don't do it and they have fun, so it is possible. It is possible. It might not be easy, but it's possible. At least you will know how much fun your team will have when you don't control every variable. Let me give you the example again of Yude's last season. Remember how I said the winner writes the story? Usually Yudes is able to, we're able to kind of dictate the pace because usually we're the biggest team in the server, like it happened with this past one with DK, correct? But the previous one, where we lost to Fire, Noad, Elio, Leon, we didn't have that power because at the beginning it was 16 versus 2. We couldn't dictate the rules. We couldn't dictate the diplomacy. We couldn't dictate anything. We tried, to what about if we did it? But at the end of the day, we were at the mercy of the other teams. And like I keep saying, that was the funnest season in my last year in Rise to War. Because we didn't know. We couldn't expect anything. We didn't know if people were going to change at the last minute from saying they were going to do this and they did something else. We were in the dark, and it felt real again. Like the beginning season, we didn't know if Fire were going to honor what they said. We didn't know if Neon was going to do something else in the back. We're just always prepared, for the worst. And it was fun. Remember the last few hours of the server, we were trying to get the third capital when Noad and Elio decided to go for the second one we had. So we didn't have the ring badge, at least the gold badge in our profiles, because we were able to get the third one, but then we lost the second one. So yeah, it's fun. I think you have to decide. You can say that you can't do it, but no. It's really, you won't do it. It's not a possibility for you, but it's actually possible if you decide to. For example, a word that I've a few years ago, I've learned this, and I've been trying to apply this like 100% of the time. I've been trying, is whenever somebody says, hey, you wanna go play football today? And when I say, oh, I can't, it's not I can't. You can. You're deciding not to. Well, but you have a commitment already. Yes, but I'm still deciding that the commitment is more important. So you say, look, I'm not available today, so I'm not going to go. But whenever we use the word, no, oh, I can't do it, we're trying to throw away the responsibility on an external thing so that we can say, oh man, I'm sorry, but I couldn't do it. No, you're deciding not to. We say yes and no to things every day. So if somebody invites you to something, you say, oh, I can't do it. No, you're deciding that it's not a possibility. Same thing is, oh, we can't play no Diplo because of the map. But you can. You're deciding that it's too hard for you to play it that way. So you don't want to try, but you can. If you wanted to, you can. It's just a decision, It might not work. It might be a poor experience, but you can. But you can say, I'm deciding to play the game with Diplo because my previous experiences with not playing Diplo were poor. So I want to play it this way. It's very easy for us to throw responsibility on something else because it's kind of human nature, I guess. What's up, Peter? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Where's my energy? I need my energy today. All right, let's stop looking at the screen and saying other things. I'll follow up on all your guys' comments right now. The reason you have to ask yourself is, why are you doing so much diplomacy? For what purpose? Season and resort rewards, badge, winning season. Then reflect. That's the potential of being realistic. The server is not for players like me. I think my formation isn't bad per se. I'm just facing way too many people who spend a ton of more money than I have. I'm closer to a dolphin than a kraken. It is, man. Look, there definitely is space for everybody, even a server like this. You just have to decide what your strengths is gonna be. You can still spend. Look, I love doing things or seeing things that people are able to do that a lot of people overlook. So for example, sniping reinforcements, to me, huge overlooked strategy that people should implement. The devs implemented that on purpose to create an extra element of strategy. Spamming tires, you have no idea how much you can delay a team and demotivate a team. If they thought they're gonna get from here to here in like 20 minutes, and now it takes them 3-4 hours. You have no idea how demotivating that is for people. So there are strategies that you can do. I mean, of course, knowing who not to hit is another good strategy. So I do my best to help where I can and grow my team over the seasons. That's what we do when we just trying to play our own game, trying different things. But I like your input inside. I appreciate it. I'm saying this just because I hear everybody's complaints about how boring the seasons are, or how they can't trust this and this team or that. So if all these things are boring, what is the team that's complaining about all these things doing to change it? And I'm not saying change it for the whole game, change it for yourself. If you're saying you can't trust people that are in the season, then why are you talking to them? Just play your game. Like I said, people have become less reliant on actual strategy and more reliant on diplomacy. That when the time comes for actual fighting, they're so weak that there's really nothing that they can do. Look, and I've been in situations where I played in very big teams that were too used to boring seasons, that when a season picked up really, really strong, there's so many things that they were lacking in strategy. It was crazy. Like simple things like bringing siege, like tiling, cutting off lines. Like let's say the enemy was here, the red tiles, and they're coming down this way. Let's say this is all land. And instead of us making at least one line of tiles so they couldn't go from this point to this point in one go, no, we leave it all open for them. All the tiles are all open, so they could go, instead of taking them 4 or 5 hours to get to that point, they just go like this, a few seconds. Because we didn't clean, we didn't fill the gaps here. So teams are too reliant on those things. It kind of reminds me of that movie WALL-E. Who here has seen the movie WALL-E by any chance? It is a lot of tires. Yeah, it definitely is. They did their homework. Wall-E is that Disney Pixar movie with the little robot. But what I'm trying to refer to is the humans in the spaceship. The humans in the spaceship were all distracted. You know, they had the foods given to them. That when they actually had to, you couldn't rely on those things anymore. Like they had weak legs. They didn't really know what to do. They're all fat and slow and unhealthy because all they're drinking is basically just like milkshakes all day. And like all of those things, right? Overweight, way overweight. And so when they it's kind of like what happens in the game. Like you're so reliant on external factors that you don't really, sharpen your axe for the war. And when the diplomacy doesn't work, then you basically suck at the game because you didn't have, for many seasons, you didn't really have to sharpen your formations. You didn't really have to care about resources because you were the dominant team anyway, so resources wasn't an issue. You didn't really have to tile. You didn't have to do anything. You could take your time. And so when a season like a pretty competitive season comes along and you're not really prepared strategically, you're going to suck. And then you're going to complain that's everybody else's fault but your own for not preparing. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's move on because it's definitely, I think it's kind of need to move on from this topic. We're probably going to come back to at some point in the future, like not today, but in the future, because I feel like we just kind of do go around and around the same thing over and over again and don't really go anywhere. Let's see. So many comments. All right. Andrew, agree for the teams with lower spend is a rough server unless they sniping. Yep. And every server that is close to the same strength ends in Diplo. Exactly. I think it feels like everybody knows this, but yeah, everybody still does it. It's just weird, guys. It makes no sense to me. I hate naps and ceasefire. Just give the opportunity for the losing side to catch up with you, even though you had the best strategy. Yeah. Toby starts to take the pass. What you may think is a C5 is just two smaller teams redirecting our resources to a much stronger front. The strategic insight of many players is really pathetic. Unrelated cater from Arnold. Hope you are doing well. Less literally, I just go where my friends are and do what I can. I do much better on the later half than early game. Usually is if you're a middle spender. There is a big difference when you can get all the skill points, activated on your commanders. Early game always benefits the Krakens. So many reactive actions, sadly, and we guilty of that too. You build fort. Oh no, that's provoking while it's your own border, and you're right. Like I said, but the reason yet that people are so afraid of that. Ooh, Dante coming for moi. Bring it, boy. You are live on the stream. That's a very good point. So it's if you build a fort on your border, it's provoking, and that's the issue because people are they're so afraid of being in the wrong side of Diplo. They're afraid of that. They shouldn't be. You should do your thing. And then when somebody reached out to you, wait, why do you have force? You say, look, it's our border. We're just defending it. Oh, are you gonna attack? Well, it doesn't matter to you if I'm gonna attack. What can you see? Can you see my forces attacking? No. So we're not attacking. Well, but we gotta make sure. You gotta make sure of nothing, mate. You're playing a war game. If you want to build forts on your border, then build forts on your border. If you attack my side, I'm going to attack you back. If you see me attacking, then you can attack back. Or you can attack right now if you want to. It's your choice, buddy. Do what you want. It's a war game. You're free to decide. You don't, like I said, you don't have to be rude to people to say things like this. Let's say here, look. Rohan can say, why are you on this cross? Look, buddy, we're here because we need the resources and you were blocking the way. We're just going to protect us so that we don't have any more issues. Oh, but look, if you're not happy with that, you can come attack and remove us if you can. It's that simple. You don't have to be rude to people to tell them it's a war game. A good example was this borders over here. You know, let me put this one as the example because I'm right here. We look how many forts we built here. Almost zero. Right? And I'm not sure if we removed a bunch. I'm not sure if we removed a bunch for tiles, but we didn't have a whole lot of forts to start with. Oh, you're kidding. Okay? He's gonna come for that one too. But look, let's say, early game, we're like, hey, Arno has a lot of forts over here, maybe we should defend. Then do it. Yo, but they think we might attack them. Look, when they see us, okay, first, if you don't want to be seen as the aggressor, okay, fine. Don't take the springs then. Just leave the springs neutral. Perfect. Yeah, but they're gonna see all these forts. They're gonna think you're gonna attack. That's their problem. If they want to reach out, saying, what's your guys' plan with the pass? Have we taken the pass? No. So as you guys can see, currently we have no plans with the pass. Yeah, but why are you building your forts? Because we can. Are you guys gonna take the pass? Look, that's for you to find out in the future. If you're not happy with us putting forts here because you think of whatever you're thinking in your head, then what you can do, you can build your little forts over here too. That's you can do that. You're free to do it if you have the resources. It's just I really don't understand. I honestly don't understand why it's so difficult. And I know I might get hate from leaders saying, "Yeah, but it's so hard to lead." You're making it harder because you're trying to communicate with everybody, trying to make everybody happy. Oh yeah, but we want to make it fun for everybody. Okay, then play your game and let people think. Let people play your game. This is the most fun you can give people. Play your game and let people try to find out what you're trying to do. Don't tell them. How fun is it to play chess if your rival's telling you everything that they're doing? Look, I'm gonna move here because my next move's gonna be that one, and then the one after is gonna be like look, that's not why we play chess. We play chess for me trying to beat you. And I honestly, I honestly, guys, I don't understand. You guys trying to play a war game, telling everybody what you're doing. It blows my mind. Keep fighting, keep annoying them. Let's see. Let me go. Just don't make any deals in game and see how the season flows. Don't talk to each other or Diplo wise. If you lose your A-OK, don't give up. Keep fighting because the team have to focus on another region soon. Keep fighting. Youths learned their lesson, I think, about what jumping seasons goes and with their name reputation. That's where I have to disagree with you there, Nazgul. A team, I don't think the same. This is the kind of thing that I don't agree with. I don't. A team doesn't need the permission of other teams to join a server. For example, Linden decided they actually knew that a lot of big teams were creating this mega server, and they on purpose decided to join. No, nobody's headhunting Linden here. If Linden was on this side of the map, okay, if Linden was on this side of the map, that wasn't crunched between those two factions, they would probably be doing a lot better. They got unlucky to have chosen between an area that has basically no land next to them, right? So saying that it's okay for a whole server to hunt somebody because a team that they were not planning on joined the server, I don't agree with that. I think people should be able to join whatever server they feel like it. Now, if they're competitive to compete in that server is another thing. But I honestly don't agree with what the 6 teams did because they were unhappy that youths joined. You know, that just shows how afraid of youths everybody in that server was. And I wouldn't do something like that if a random team, even if it was a strong team, joined the server that I was in. We would have played the same way that I would play. So I think people should be able to join anything. It's not like I own any of the servers. So and I don't want to become a server police. I'm against this whole idea of server policing. That's why I'm so against so much diplomacy. But I like your points in the above comment though. If you lose an area, don't. If you lose a keep, don't write to the leaders of that faction that just keep saying, "Hey, what are you gonna keep pushing, bro? Just keep playing." You lost one keep. You lost one crossing. This is how you know that people. This is how you know that people really lack strategic ideas. If you lose a crossing, if you lose a pass, and your reaction is DMing the leader saying, "Yo, how much you gonna push? Can you don't can you are you gonna go for another keep?" Now it's like, what are you doing? What are you playing? Okay. Like I said, I'm not in favor. I'm not saying. I mean, honestly, I'm 100% against bullying people in anywhere, and that includes in a game like this. But bullying somebody doesn't mean you're not gonna fight and take their tiles. It's a game. Bullying means you use words and actions and means to belittle, and harass people. That's something I 100% am against. Guys, is my microphone different today? Angus just mentioned that. Oh, I only saw his comment now. Oh, I think it is. Give me a second. It didn't restart. Let me fix that. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to listen to myself later. Is the mic better now? Mic check. Mic check. I had the app for my mic was off. Is it better now, guys? Is it better? Nazgo, where you at? Your name got changed? All right, cool. I was like, where did Nazgo go? All right, let me read your comment because I think that conversation was between you and I for a little bit. I am so behind the chat. I actually just scrolled all the way down now because I'm not gonna be able to keep up with everything. All right, cool, man. Cool. Let's see. Band diplomacy. I apologize, guys. I kind of don't want to miss out on chat, so I pushed all the way forward now. I'll read the last comment on you, Nazgo. Oh no, not that part of jumping server. More like the effect, what it does to the other teams on the server because the other teams started to work together. I mean, for sure, things are gonna happen. I get that 100%. It's just I do think it wasn't very fair to target you 6 teams, those 6 teams targeting you because they were in a server. They didn't do it on purpose. It's like let's jump these guys. It was just look, it's we either wait for another few weeks until we have a server to go on, and maybe it's gonna be an empty one, and we already been in Baggin for like 2 or 3 weeks at the time. Or we join this one and see what happens. And that's what happened. And it was fun. Like I said, it was a great season. My favorite season in a very long time. I appreciate it, Angus. I forgot that the app for my mic was off. Have all these little protections in the software to make the voice not be crazy. Understandable. Not gonna lie, the rallying of people in our team was amazing. We sending out war messages every 12 hours for activity. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it too. I mean, it was a fun server, you know. And but that's the thing. Look, like I said, although I don't agree, I don't agree with 6 teams going after one team, right? I didn't control it. That's what I'm talking about. I have respect for Fire, for Neon, for all the teams involved. I mean, besides the the negativity that we always find in a server, I don't have any grudges against any of the teams, because you deciding, knowing that you can't control other people, so you play your game and you lose like we did. It's just a game. It's a server. You're gonna reset and go somewhere else next season. You don't have to take it personally, get extremely upset, any of those things, and find your fun. Play for that season. It's a losing, and that's the thing. That's the problem. Players don't want to lose in this game. That's why it's so hard to lead, because if you're not, and I understand why leaders diplo so much, is because if they don't control as many variables as they can, then what happens is their players will not log in. Their players will go AFK. So between their players going AFK or going somewhere else, they prefer to do Diplo to try to create some sort of fun for them. So I understand why they do it. I just think it's the wrong approach, because that means you hook everybody into always being in that vicious cycle of diplomacy. Right? That's the issue. Let's have a quick look at Tartar Being's report. 3D fights. Let's see how that looks. I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty interesting. Okay, so let's see. Chris, Z10 or R10, R14. Not a weak dude. R13 here, and an R15. Okay, very close to the Z level to get the extra damage. Z6. Ooh, wee. All right. That is, ooh, I'm liking this, because this is what I'm building. This is what I currently have. This is what I currently have. Okay, interesting. And Z5. I mean, this is no small dude. All defensive traits. Look, I like this. Different setup. 226. Wow. This is a really, really good report. I like it. Me like it. Let's see. Potentially. But then again, you're using 3 damage dealers. The damage is going to be divided anyways. Yeah, he got stunned once. Potentially one of the rounds for Druing's Blood. That's really nice, though. So Apollo, I think most people don't care much about winning, about fun and working together as a team. Look, I would love if that comment that you just said there was true. I would love to be proven differently. I don't think it is. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the fun. All I really care is about the fun. But deep down, I honestly don't think people care about the fights as much as they care about winning. I mean, I love to be proven wrong. In that regard, I'll do 50 push-ups here if you can prove me wrong. But I don't think I will be. Ooh, look at this. Dark Silence. Man, this name Dark Silence is so familiar. This name is so familiar. I can't remember where from though. Alright, somebody just DM'd me on Discord. Ah, man, Rune is active. Got some nice, interesting players here. R6, R7, R15. Yo, recruit this player. Ooh, I got some cool people playing. That's nice. Dark Silence. I'll have a look at your formations again in just a little bit. It's looking solid though. You guys might be right. Maybe it's more with a wish from me. I know. I mean, it's my wish too. I love to be proven wrong in things like this, brother. This is why this season you see me talk about this same subject over and over and over and over and over again. I'm hoping that we can change some mentality here because I know there's a lot of improvements the game needs to make, but there's a lot of improvements in our own mentality for this game that we need to make because we're not really helping ourselves here. We are honestly not. I got some merit from that dude hitting me earlier, didn't I? Stopped, dude. Isaac, get away from me, man. You're taking my stuff. Yeah, look at that. Isaac passed me again. Yeah, that one more time. You get away from me. Xanox, we'll check yours in just a second, brother. I'm glad you're being open about it, and it's inspiring for sure. I hope so. You know, it's for our own sake. It's no, I don't get anything out of this. I wish. Prove her wrong and I might win a pilot. Sweet, Danny. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. I'll do 50 push-ups. We can change this around. So I honestly don't get anything out of this. NetEase doesn't pay me a single dime anymore. It's been years. You know, been years. I wish they were, because that make my life a whole lot easier if they were. I don't get anything out of it other than my own enjoyment and everybody's. Because look, it matters very little to me have an account like this if I don't have people to fight with. You know, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do us any good. So I'm really just making these comments because it does hurt everybody. I wish we can make a season where, or not even a season, I just wish leaders just look, we're gonna play our game, we're gonna talk to people when we need to, instead of always trying to do diplomacy. Just learn strategy. There's so much you can do. Can I give you guys an example? Okay. Let me give you one example here. What's up, Nick Rush? How you doing, man? Let me give an example. Did you know that I could clean, instead of taking, so it's 5 minutes each, correct? Instead of taking 10 minutes each two tiles, so 20, 30, 40, instead of taking 20 minutes to go from this tile to this tile right here, this will take me 40 minutes. Did you know that I could do this in 5? Did you guys know that? Who here? Type yes or no in chat. If you knew that you can go from this tile or to this tile in 5 minutes. Yeah, it's Nazgo, not asking somebody to delete the tile. Good idea though. Yes, but good point. Good point, Angus. But no, it's not that. So let me give you. Some of you guys wrote it. Of course, you're not gonna do this every time, or especially if there's enemies around to take it. But all you need really is a full army of birds, and it doesn't have to be level 50. I don't remember exactly. You know, it's 100 here for a tile like this, 100 siege. But you can have flyers, okay? And you can send flyers. No, it usually takes 2 hits, okay? You can send one flyer to each one of these, and you take them in 5 minutes. You're probably gonna have to send it twice. You send it once, takes more than half of the siege, and you send it the second time. Then all of these tiles are gone, right? Look, I'm not saying it's the easiest. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is it is possible. There are things that we don't do that is possible to doing. Maybe you're not gonna do this while you are fighting. But what you can do, let's say you cut them off in this line here, right? You cut them off here. You block their access to this part of the map because you took tiles. Now instead of cleaning one by one by one by one, all you do is each member of your team has one flyer army that is only used for tiling, and you guys full send on them. Okay. So, yes, maybe you should have every player should have one squad just for eagles, never for anything else, just eagles. So that's what I'm saying. It's things like this that I think leaders and people should be thinking more of, instead of just the things that kind of you don't even have to think of anymore because it's already basically done. There's quite a few things we can still do. Like I said, a cluster of forts. How should teams set up cluster of forts? Guarding systems, attacking systems, resource management, stamina management. How many times have I seen a player go into one tile that's empty, somebody else sending on top of it? Like there's no fighting, or there's one army here. There's one army here, and somebody is already sending to that tile. Why am I gonna send on top of it or cut it off? Let's say my teammates or bears, in this case bear, say bear is they're not in they're the same faction but not in my team. Let's say this bear player here is gonna send right here, and I can see the timer 20 seconds. Let's say I'm next to this one, like I'm gonna send it too, and mine is 5 seconds. Why would you make him waste just like it's happening right now, right? See, it's gonna take 29 seconds. Let's say I'm right here. It's like, okay, and it's gonna take me 10 seconds to send. So I'll send in front of him. Like, why would you do that? First, it's gonna piss him off. It's gonna make him very upset because now he sent it to get that merit and you're gonna take it from him. That's the first issue. The second is now he wasted 20 stamina for no reason. Instead of you sending somewhere else where nobody was sending on an enemy that's not that one, now you both just wasted stamina. Stealing, yeah, for sure, stealing merit. I try to avoid, unless I don't see an arrow going, I don't send, or unless it's multiple armies. And of course, right, you want to take that stack out. One player's not going to be enough. But you can either wait so he lands first, or you can send. But in this case, both of you are going to get it. But usually when it's like one army sitting, I don't send on tile that somebody's already going to. Not good sportsmanship, but also waste of resources. Yes. It is a good idea, actually, Nazgo. Let's set it up. I like it. We need more content. I steal merit at every opportunity, especially from Melkor. I need kid. All right, guys. I need some more fights. I can't let Isaac take them from me. Love you, Isaac, but bro, We're gonna fight for that merit spot. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we got resources barely. I guess we're gonna have to send some people over here. Transport. Transport. What we got? What we got? We got horsemen. Yes. That's all we have on this one. Let's send some more. All right, we got some more over here. I guess I will send marauders in case we need another replay. No, we don't have enough and we need a little bit. Knights, cave trolls. No, I'm gonna have to clean these guys up later. There we go, guys. Okay, so in the meantime, let's see if we got any issues down here. If nobody's sending at us. We can kind of maybe I should break this one. I should break that one. Ooh, this guy. Oh, Dante. Always taking my tiles. Ooh, this dude is. Let's go take that one. Okay, and then we come back because I need to defend that area. All right, we're gonna take that one back because he took it from us earlier. Let's take it back. I hope, guys, that these live streams, even though maybe for some people the server is not going well, I really hope we can kind of go back to creating a competitive but respectful environment. Sometimes it feels it's not possible. I think people are too accustomed. People are too accustomed to. I'm going to use the word toxicity because it seems that everybody's used to that term or to that kind of behavior. I think people are too accustomed to that people don't like they don't want to change. You know, when I say like we should be able to have a fun season where people are playing their own thing and people can disagree respectfully. It's like, no, we can't. Nah. It's too much to ask. Now, people create things about other people. People attack people personally. Look, and I've seen plenty of that. I've seen people attacking two players from Panda. I've seen people attacking players from gods. Yeah, from gods and things like that. So it's like people kind of think it's normal. I really don't understand why. But people do think that behaviors like that are normal. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's so hard to change is because people think it's normal and they justify it. So yeah, guys, 45 people watching and only 33 likes. See, I can't even get people to hit the like button. Imagine having a respective season. Oh, that's definitely asking too much. You're only 2 weeks in, season still plenty time maybe to change. I mean, I do think thanks to some teams that they're making some interesting moves. I do think the season is going to get very, very interesting. I just really dislike the start of the season. I don't like I said, play your game, play your strategy, and go. Then people reach out to you, say, hey, what's going on? You can say, look, I'm going to be honest. I saw a message from a leader of Bear in this Diplo chat. And he's like, respectfully, we're not going to tell you when we're going to attack. I saw it, so I know that was said. He said, we're not trying to be rude, but we're not going to tell you when we're going to attack. We're trying to keep this as organic as possible. And so, whenever we feel like attacking, we're going to attack. And I think that's how it should be. People shouldn't be trying to, people shouldn't be trying to tell each other when they're going to do stuff. Imagine me DMing this guy right now saying, hey, yo, Dante, I'm going to attack you here. The reason why he mentioned is because in that Diplo chat that I think shouldn't even be there, they were asking for a heads up. It's like, can you give us a heads up whenever if you guys ever go to this? He's like, no, we're not gonna give you a heads up. That's the exact point of this server, is to not be telling each other everything. So that's why he's like, just respectfully just explaining to you how we want to operate this season. And I respect that, If people said that to me, like, cool. But that's the thing. This is where it gets tricky, though. Okay, I would respect saying cool. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even, as you guys can hear from me saying, I wouldn't be asking people, right? If I start a season with no Diplo, no talking to anybody, and I see a team that might be a threat to me moving, I might reach out, hey, what are your intentions here? And they say, hey, we're just doing our thing. Like, cool. And what I think is, look, I think they're going to potentially attack us in this region. Why? Because I know I can see them moving. They don't want to say anything, so that means Because sometimes when they're like, no, we definitely don't want, not going to be attacking. They'll tell you our plan is to go somewhere. We're just setting up defenses here. But if a team says, look, we're just doing our thing, we don't really want to tell you what we're doing, then you can see it could be either or, right? So, but me thinking here as a leader, they might attack, huh? Okay, no worries. So I think I want to set up a defense here, because if they do attack, we are already, protected. We're already got our defenses up. I would never in a million years, like, you know what? I hate you for not telling me. And this is what usually happens. Because a leader doesn't want to give me information, now I have beef with this team. Oh, these guys are not cool. These guys are toxic. These guys are, they're bullies. All because the guy didn't want to tell me what his plan was. And sorry, guys, I've seen too much of this to not say it's not a reality. Because somebody doesn't want to tell you their plans, now all of a sudden they're bad players. I would applaud if, like, yo, cool. And because I'm not emotionally attaching myself to this situation, I can easily play with that team the next season, either against them or as an ally. Because I didn't project my frustration of not knowing what they're doing as a personal attack. And a lot of times we become so sensitive to everything. Like, I think we should be sensitive, right? When we see something that's wrong, we should be sensitive enough to say, look, that's wrong. But we've kind of let, like, just emotions rule everything we do, that whenever we don't get something our way, now all of a sudden everything is bad. Everybody's bad. I've played against people in the past that had become some of my best friends in this game. All because I didn't let my emotions dictate what was going on. A couple nights ago, I told you guys about my season 3 in Rohan, where we got zeroed, correct? This is a proof. This is a proof that what I'm talking about. I played on the same team that zeroed me the season after. Where is Price? Because I had a pretty interesting conversation with Price during that season, which wasn't an easy pill to swallow, because I had the vision from the leader that had quit, that lied to the whole team about what we were doing and why we were doing. But after Price is still playing. What am I talking about? Price. I saw his name on Discord. Oh, jeez. Give me a second. Price, you're not here, are you? Who was the leader of Tower at the time? Trying to remember. Oh, darn it. Trying to remember. I'm gonna have to hit Price later and ask him. No, DP was there too in the rival team that I was getting zeroed by. No, it wasn't. Oh, what's his name? I'll remember later. But either way, I played in the team that zeroed me the season before, all because I didn't take it personally. FTPW, who knows here? One field. FTPW. So that season after, right? I was in Tower. We had Tower and Comp, I believe. And Claw allied with the evil team, FTPW, to kind of dominate the server. And we got wrecked by FTPW. But I didn't take that personally. And I became really good friends with One Field later on. And I played with them later. right? A lot of players, many players from TPW came into Yaru, who now became Utes. So yeah, we just taking things too personal when it's not personal. It's just a game. And if you don't put yourself in a position to get offended because somebody doesn't want to tell you something, you could easily play against them or with them, because the fact that they're not telling what they're doing, and they play really strong, they're a strong team, doesn't mean they're toxic people, they're bad people. But anytime you project, this is something. Have you ever heard of this? This is a true fact. If I voice something about somebody, so let's say, right, I am with a friend and we're talking about somebody, and I say something negative about another person, okay? I'm psychologically speaking, even when good things are said later about that person, I'm always gonna find ways to confirm my first view of the person. So if I said that the person was bad, even though I might be hearing good things about the person later on, or people are commenting, I'm always, to that person that I said negative things to, I'm always going to find ways to spin those things into negative, because in my mind, I need to justify my first negative comment about the person. Okay? So this is the problem. This is what we do. We project our frustrations of the server into the people that we're fighting against, and then we can never fight and play with them again. Oh, those guys are bad, and when they probably never even done those things. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't have any issues. This is me personally. Again, I don't have a lot of experience playing versus Merc, neither versus Step, but I played versus Lame. I believe I played versus Lane before, or with Lane, can't remember now. But I played versus Order, I played versus Toby, and I played with him versus Gods. I have no issues playing with them multiple times. There's been a lot of... There's been one thing I do need to recognize is there's been a lot of passive-aggressive comments being made by individual players. That usually they will make a passive-aggressive comment, but then whenever somebody questions them about it or put them on the spot, they're like, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I honestly don't think those are good behaviors to have, especially when you're complaining about people's behaviors. But then when people question you about them, then you're like, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't take it so harsh. It's just a joke. It's like, no, like if you're willing to make comments that to people seem as aggressive, then you should be able to take those comments back instead of complaining about other people. So no issues playing with them so far. I know there is some kind of blood between some players, but hopefully we can work it out in the future. But Angus, kind of to your point, I do think the season is gonna get spicy in a good way. All right, I need to find me some fights. So, in order to do that, let's do the following. So, we got troops here. We got a lot of troops coming. We got war chariots. I need to save these for some tests later on. 64 defense. That is interesting. HP wise, let's do the math here. Oh, they're very HP dense. 25. What's this 25? Oh, yeah. How many days? So 1,300 divided by 25. That's 50. That's not a whole lot. No, I guess it is 52. Yeah, it is. That's a lot. Now, I wish this unit was not... I wish this unit for physical damage... No, not this one. Not the werewolf. 21. Ooh, that's a lot of defense, too. Divided by 50. Oh, that's 42 HP. Which is very low. Issue is they take a lot of focus damage. That's bad. but I think it's this one. But they also take a lot of, they don't. Burn damage minus 60. Oh, I think it is the Drake that I was talking about. I'm gonna have to try this. Ugh. Why? Why did they have to make this unit so expensive? Why? What was your account like in season 3? Who was this question to, Angus? And Nazgul, who's the question to there? I mean, 6,000 divided by that's 60. I wanna test. Oh man, this is kind of nasty. I think this might be one of the nastiest. Yes. Oh, did the thing disconnect? I know we're back. So my very first account in season 3, I think I had. So this is you got to consider that it was a different moment 1.0 season 3, but I had at the beginning up to like season, I think like around season 3, no, season 1, if I make my old videos available, you will see that the streaming was so poor. I mean, of course, anybody starting, but my very first profile name was I think it was Dane King Under the Mountain, something like that. Or it was King Under the Mountain. I don't remember now. I have to go back and see if I can find it. I played only as dwarves. Okay. And I played with Dwalin, Ori, Gimli. And I was very, very free to play. I was like, I didn't spend almost anything. So the challenge for me was to play only as free to play. Luckily, I had unlocked Dwalin, Ori, and Gimli all within like the first few days. I just didn't have Dane at the time. So that's where towards the second middle of the season, I started spending to get Dane. So I got Dane R1, R2. And then the season after, I then got Thorin. But by season 3, I remember I probably had Dane probably like R5, R3, R5. I had all the dwarves. Oh, actually, Ballin. That's when I discovered Ballin, and so I started going heavy into him because I had luckily gotten the retaliate weapon. My Ballin was, I think at the time was like R9, R10, and that Balling would take Balling would take out a stack of 20 evil armies. So, but by season 3, I had a pretty good account. Had quite a bit put into it. Not crazy amounts, but probably a few grand into it. So it was a pretty decent account. The Dread guy from Aces is the worst. Isn't that what you heard, fellow? Nah, Shane is cool, man. It's cool. I mean, I do think, if I could ever just give anybody some kind of advice, I think people should just try to avoid being negative, toxic. Like being banter and like the fun trolling, like people kind of making fun of each other when they win or lose a fight. I think that's okay. It's part of, like whenever you're playing with your friends, football or basketball, don't you have a little of a banter with them? You kind of play around with each other. I think that's fine. But I honestly think it would be so nice, if people are able to play competitively without having to insult other people. Hey Lee, send them over to me. I think I'm gathering some data, some ideas to try to put a video on to see if we can get some traction going. Do you agree that the passes are kind of ruining the game? There are hardly any open field wars, and they landlock you, forcing fights on them. I do think there are two issues, though. I think passes are a problem only because tile taking takes too long. No, but I think I that's interesting, Nazgo. I think being negative is fine. I guess I just think like the personal insults, saying like writing people like like over and over and over again things like a skill issue, like once is okay, but when you start to repeat the same little jargons to people over and over and over again, they do kind of tend to become insults. Like I said, banter is all cool. But I do think people should just be careful with how much of it there is because it does affect people, Skillicious. Like I said, I think if you do that once, every so often to somebody that you're fighting against, cool. But anything that you kind of becomes over, I think it can become something negative. So I haven't had. That's the thing, though. I personally haven't had issues with people. I think a lot of the negative. Oh, let's go back to the thing. I think a lot of the negativity goes back to you receive what you give. I guess that's the principle. If some people are getting a lot of negativity, potentially they're giving out a lot of negativity. I think that's a good measure. Because I don't really get a lot of comments related to to things like that. I really don't. I got one recently. I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm not gonna expose the situation. But it just if you don't give in to it, it goes away like that. So yeah. Let's put it that way. All right, guys. I think it's time to send Undying for one more round of butt kicking. Let's go. Okay, I took Dante out on that one, and we back here. We's back here. Okay, so where are we? Oh, look at this. More the guy. I'm gonna send it to the middle here, where I'm safe. And then we can choose somebody to hit. Yeah, but guys, just listen to the ideas that we're sharing. Not necessarily, maybe, I said this, maybe that doesn't make sense. That's cool, And I'm not gonna get if somebody writes me skill issue, like come back in an hour. It's all fun and games. Now, talking about passes and things, I would only agree. Record that, YouTube. I would agree that passes are a problem if tiling wasn't such a roadblock. If tiling was, like I said a couple days ago, where there is no timer, there is protection like 1.0, you take a tile, it gives you 2 minutes, 1 minute of protection to reinforce, or team members to come up on it to help you defend while you're reinforcing, whatever, right? You get that protection. After that, there's no timer. The only time there's a timer is that if you activate like the arcane art skill from Rings of Power, then it becomes 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is a long time. Other than that, I think people need to be able to freely tile or just have like a minimal timer. For one reason, is for two reasons. I think this is horrendous. Nobody is enjoying this back and forth, like going nowhere. I think at least I think most people are not enjoying either who attacks and who defends. Because if you're not attacking right now, you're going to be attacking at some other point. So it ruins it for everybody. But the second reason is strategically, people don't really need to be taking all the tiles. If it takes forever to get through tiles anyways, like look at all these open tiles here. It would force people to have every single tile in the front of the fight taken, all of them. This will not be open if that was the case. Nothing will be open. So it forces people to really be careful with leaving tiles open in the battlefront. You know, that's what I think should be done. Because those are my thoughts. Of course, there's flaws in my idea too, potentially. But I would say that passes are less important now. It's just like a double. It's like a double strategy to slow things down even more, because first, pass is already a problem to get through if somebody else owns it. But then not just that, it's just there after the ties. There's just so much tiling to do. If tiling was simple, I would consider leaving the passes like durability wise as they are. I do think the timers are a problem though. I think the timer, how they open, I do think it's a problem. Let's look at, ooh, babe, look at that. Look at the damage from, ooh, versus Ollie. Man. I mean, Ollie, come on, bro. You're doing 134 defense on your tank, man. Man, you're never going to survive that one. Z12. I mean, he's using a T2. Not bad, but then again, it's still, letting Thorn kill you? Yeah, that's a pretty good result for this team here. Triple damage dealers in the way of troop support, but still doing some damage. Are we coming? Who's that? Gym Merchant. The cool thing about streaming and stuff, it just allows me to kind of point people out and like just talk about people like Freya. Oh, Freya. Nasty formation from Freya. Just coming over here. A lot of NRP teams only have 10 to 20 players so tile. Most teams only have 10, 20 players so tile. If you got 70 players, you can fairly make a dent in tiles. I mean, you do. I'm not a fan of this long wait for either passes and tiles. I think it's too much. We've created such a slow game that it's I miss the tiling system in 1.0, to be honest. I really do. There was so much fun bouncing and quickly taking a bunch of tiles so people couldn't get anywhere. It was some fun times. And you could tile a lot. Remember like how fast Eagles used to tile? Ah, man. Some good fun there. I was 7 minutes out from undying. Yep. All right, let's get some more resources here. How close are we? No, not that one. Where's Frodo? Oh no, Frodo's somewhere already back. Yeah, baby, my fort is done. My fort is done. I don't mind them winning too slow. I just want them to do it better. Just do it better. Just do a better job at making it slow. Give us a reason, like give us a reason for it to be slow. Because what if they don't think that this is slow enough? And they're like, yeah, let's make it even more slow for you guys now. Let's add more passes with more timers. Let's add a pass right in the middle here. Or let's make it so fortresses take 48 hours to build. Like, we want to fight. There's Vessi posted some ideas as to like how he would improve some of or either campaigns or how he would improve the map. I'm going to use some of his ideas and some of the other ones that I've been collecting to kind of probably just put it into a video format and make it easier for consumption. But like for example, one thing that I do think would be easy to make people want to do is give real meaningful buffs and benefits for having a specific land region. So let's say, right? Let's say this keep here. And I'm not even gonna try to think what should be given, but there's a reason why everybody that is on the west wants to have this now, like this here. Maybe it's because whoever owns that land gets like plus 15 on like unit defense for your armies, or you get these other things. Like that's actually meaningful though. Some of these buffs that we get from territories, like nobody knows what they are. You know? It's like, who cares about 500? You know, what if it was plus 5,000? Like, well, we want that. Right? We want 5,000 resources per hour. That's meaningful. You know, so everything in the game is like it's just pointless. It's useless. You know, like if you're gonna make things slow down, then at least make the defensive camps. This is just kind of a thought. Make the defensive camps actually meaningful. You know, like how good are they at level 5? I don't even remember because most people don't care. Like, are they any good? Do they actually help at all? If you guys know, let me know. You know, make him meaningful so people have a reason to take them and and boost them. You know, they will go. You know, these camps will go out up to, I don't know, 100 tiles away from the camp. If they see any red tile, good, they'll take the tile for you. Make it so you like there's a reason to really buff the keeps, so make it harder for enemies to take it. But don't make it harder because now the timer for a tile is 25 minutes. You know. All right, 3 minutes, guys, and we potentially have a hit somewhere. It's been a dread to get to get these guys leveled up. Is it? Oh, Freya is here. Somebody's coming through. I think I want to hit Freya. Oh, somebody's going. See. Oh no, he's coming back. I think I might want to go for Freya because she's gonna cut off my friends here, and I don't want to let her do that. So let's go for Freya. Why isn't dying? What? Freya is here, bro. Oh no, he's going for her. Ah, cool. That's fine. Unbelievable. Why would I go around? I guess it just rejected my movement. That's fine. Our last season, I saw a defense camp take 1 tile. I mean, a lot of people don't usually use them. Like, they don't really buff them. Like, they don't put the resources into them. I think we should try to gather as many cool features and ideas for a server that we can, and then kind of like together map it out to like, look, I think, just for this is just for the sake of me in the season, more like giving more strategic ideas and freedom while keeping things in this lower pace that you guys are trying to, because telling them that, hey, bring 1.0 back is really not it's not good. That's not really helpful. Is it gonna take me more than 40 seconds to get to this one? I want to go. Oh man, it's gonna take me a minute, 2 minutes. What the heck you're doing? Undyne is right here. Wait. Oh jeez, whatever. Especially when people still build their accounts and care about rewards. It's for lazy people. It gives some way of risk of other teams because it means you're going YOLO. Everybody takes keeps. Keeps is not an issue. I think it's the lack of feeling anything achieved when you're losing. Might not be your mindset, but sure, it's for a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, look, I think we're on to something here though. You know, it's if at least we get some ideas down to make it easier on the devs. Look, this is, you know, do this and this, it might help everybody. Okay, so Undyne is here. Who's coming? All right, let's let Miss Rose here reinforce. Oh, Freya is running. 211 gems is a joke. All right, I'm coming for this one. You know, gathering some cool ideas and then kind of presents will help things. All right, let's see. Oh, come on, don't lose too many. Oh, I lost half. Yeah, just over half. All right, not bad. See, look, that's why I like running the T1 defensive. It just allows it to survive a little bit more, so we don't get crazy wrecked here. Okay, so close to 40. Oh, so close. Level 48. Need that 50 so we can. Oh, not that one. Almost 47. It mostly depends on developers. Instead of tweaking season 1 into something unrecognizable, they should work on normal campaigns. Ideas should have the following concepts: financial gains, exactly. The company, activity numbers, player preference. Yep, I agree with you. Financial is always gonna be the first. Is gonna be the financial thing for them, right? They're not gonna say, "Oh yeah, let's do this," and we make no money. Like they're not ever gonna do that. So, all right, is Isaac still in front of me? He just passed me. Oof. Oof. All right, we're gonna hit somebody else. Final hit of the hour, guys, and then we're gonna close the stream because we are already over 2 hours. But we will be back tomorrow. Okay, so let's reload here, and then we find somebody to hit. Freya is probably gonna run. I mean, she's taking tiles. I'm not sure she's using her main team for this. So that's yeah. So I can't see. If you can find somebody down there to hit. Okay, we got this one. Oh, Lajibu. What's up, Warpath? How you doing? Okay, so we got Foreign over here. Where is Foreign's base? All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, y'all. Okay, Lajibu's here. The Frey is blocking all the guys. The reinforcements. These bases at Battlefield giving me anxiety. Well, they weren't there at first. You know, they were quite behind the pass, all the way over here. We just got, we just gotten so, we advanced quite well over there. Now they're all the way over here, so not very close to the battlefield at first. Come on, Undying. All right, Angus. See you. Good night, brother. That was 5 days ago. I know. Yeah, but it's Arnor fighting Gondor, but then Angmar just joined the fight. So there's quite a few people fighting currently. All right, come on, baby. King Dano, that's the first I've seen this person. Apollo. Come on. Oh, we got this guy. Oh, we got Foreign over here. Where is? I can't even see what he's using. So I can probably go to him unless he moves away. That should be a good hit, though. I'm 59 seconds, guys. Oh, Steppe is down there. Steppe just made a fortress in Arnor lands. Oh, I just... Can't even make it back fast enough. Don't ever shave ever. Unbelievable what Freya just done. Unforgivable, Freya. Unforgivable. Okay, so I don't have. Okay, we're gonna let's YOLO on these guys now. Oh, got Dasma over here. Not sure if he's full or empty. We're gonna YOLO. Oh yes, we're gonna YOLO on this guy. See what happens. right, let's see what foreign. Let's see what foreign has to offer us. Is he full? Is he not? I don't know. Let's find out. Aiden, this is for you. I for sure am not full, so you got right. Ooh, at the very end. At the very end. Ooh, I love this though. That was a good hit. I'll take this all day, every day. 3,600, 5,000 man, 63,000 XP. We took 160 of damage and did 247 of damage. Let's go, baby. Let's see. Foreign running a Z1 Gandalf with a R10 and a R11 and a R11 here as well. Good, man. Good setup. All right, boys and girls. I appreciate everybody being on. Let's call it a night. You guys know where we be. Good server, good fights. We got 40 people here. Don't forget, guys, to hit that like and the subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's chat a bit at the upcoming day a bit, fellow. I think we, as community, can change stuff, but we need people to stop the grudges and look ahead. I agree for that. I definitely agree for that. Hopefully we can. That's kind of the idea of kind of mentioning and re-mentioning some things related to the game and the community in these on these live streams. Hopefully people understand that certain things could and should change. Hopefully we can start to little by little. All right. Don't forget, I'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to try to be earlier, but my wife needed attention. As you guys know, she's pregnant. So I have to be a little bit flexible with my time. LD plays. Have a good night. Thanks for the stream, fellow fun as always. As usual, we'll be here tomorrow. I appreciate it, Yete. I saw your message. I'm going to follow up with a question for you later. But I appreciate everybody. Love being here with you guys. Thank you, eldest. And y'all have a great evening. See you guys tomorrow. Take care.